When these kids found out their whole school was going to see the new Marvel film Black Panther, they threw an impromptu dance party. The kids all go to the Ron Clark Academy in Atlanta, and the film screening is part of a 2-week African immersion project for Black History Month. The school's founder said the film is included in their learning experience because it's important for the students to see themselves represented on screen. Black Panther stars mostly Black actors and is one of the most anticipated films of the year. And these kids are clearly looking forward to seeing it.
And last but not least, our king, Mr. Chadwick Boseman.
Ladies and gentlemen, the cast of Black Panther!
Black Panthers preach every day hate, kill Whitey, kill the police, kill the pigs, hate, hate, hate. That's all you hear from.
This is a regular thing that was going on here. Everybody needed change, but for different reasons. The middle class needed change so that they could integrate into the system and they could attain the wealth and resources that white people had, white power had. The middle class needed African people to be able to vote so that they could get elected. The middle class needed you to be able to vote so that they could get elected. And so they came into this alliance. The liberal sector, the white ruling class, funded the civil rights movement, promoted the civil rights movement. They even sometimes sent their children to the South to participate in the civil rights movement, to control it from above. Malcolm talked about that a lot. And what happened, of course, is something they could not anticipate. Because you can't take Fannie Lou Hamer, who was a sharecropper in Mississippi, uneducated sharecropper in Mississippi who became one of the most powerful people in this country. You can't move people like that to change the world without them becoming changed themselves. People who engage in change the world become changed themselves. And then their aspirations go beyond what the black middle class wanted. By 1964, 65, the Voting Rights Act, the Civil Rights Bill, all of that stuff had passed. As far as the black petty bourgeoisie was concerned, it was over. They had won everything they were looking for. But 1966, what did you hear? They weren't talking about we shall overcome. They were saying black power. We want black power, which went beyond what the black petty bourgeoisie was talking about. Shook them up. Shook Martin Luther King up. Shook Jesse Jackson up. We said black power. They said soul power. They did. They can, and all the smart white people got instantaneously stupid. Black power. What does that mean? Isn't that something? I mean, these are the most erudite, smart white people you ever wanted, but they don't know what black power means, right? And so you had this incredible movement take off. 1965, Lowndes County Freedom, Lowndes County, Alabama. The Lowndes County Freedom Organization is organized, where people getting tired of being double-crossed by white liberals created an all-black political party called the Lowndes County Freedom Organization. They used as the symbol in Lowndes County, Alabama, because the white Alabama Democratic Party had as its symbol a white rooster. The Lowndes County Freedom Organization used as a symbol the Black Panther. And then they started calling it the Black Panther Party. At this time, they were just trying to win power through the vote. 1966, in Oakland, California, a group of militants there decided that they were going to take the name Black Panther and give it to the party, the Black Panther Party, for self-defense. They called it for self-defense because they were in Oakland, where black people built a ship a day. During this same war that we talked about, Second Imperialist War, Africans in Oakland, California built a ship a day for Kaiser. We got nothing to show for the ship a day for Kaiser. And when they recruited Africans into Oakland to do that kind of slave work, they also recruited big, hostile, white Southern guys to come up to be on the police department to keep the Africans in check. The Black Panther Party for Self-Defense was created. That was in Oakland, California.
I woke up this morning when the man said our freedom.
Malcolm X had a far-reaching effect on the civil rights movement. In the South, there had been a long tradition of self-reliance. Malcolm X's ideas now touched that tradition. In 1965, the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee launched new strategies to challenge white control of Southern politics.
Our direction was clear, a heavy emphasis on nationalism. Strong as Malcolm had it, as strong as we could get it.
Carmichael and other SNCC members began a voter drive in Lowndes County, Alabama, known as Bloody Lowndes for its violence against blacks. Although 80% of the population was black, there were no black elected officials. Economically dependent on white plantation owners, many were afraid to join civil rights efforts, and none had been allowed to register to vote until early 1965.
Now in this country it says majority rules. We are 80% of the majority in this, we are 80% in this county, and we have the right to rule this county. We have the right to rule this county, and we're going to rule it. I don't care how poor we are and how black we are, we're going to govern this county.
Stokely Carmichael and Colton Cox and others who got together and told us, according to the Alabama law, if we didn't like what the Democratic Party was doing in our county or the Republican Party, we could form our own political organization and it could become a political party.
George Wallace was in the head of the Alabama Democratic Party. The Alabama Democratic Party was racist. Its symbol at that time had a white rooster, and it had the words of white supremacy. That was the official emblem of the Democratic Party of Alabama. So here it would be easy for us to tell our people, hey, look, this party is not for us. We need our own party.
The new political party was named the Lowndes County Freedom Organization, but it became better known by the symbol it chose, a Black Panther.
And then when we chose that symbol as a Black Panther, then many of the people in our county started saying we were violent during that time. You know, now you got a violent group in Lowndes County who is turning out who's going to start killing white folks. But it wasn't that. It was a political, just a symbol to our organization that we was here to stay and we were going to do whatever needed to be done to survive.
Everybody was excited because they said, well, they have the rooster, which represents the Democratic Party, the elephant, which represents the Republican Party. Why can't we have a black cat to represent us? Everybody knows how a cat look, and we were excited because we knew that if a person couldn't read and write, they sure knew the difference between a cat, an elephant, and a rooster.